Okay, so this is a RV stabilizer, and these brackets were facing the other way. I turned them this way, but you can't use them this way because they overlap and they don't align. So I need to make a bracket that looks like that, bolts in, and then has something like that welded to the top, so it will look something like that, which is what currently holds it in place, right? And he wants to put this in place of this bar like this, so he can use a screw. Actually, it'd be like this, yeah. So this bar will be movable, and then this will just be pegged in one hole instead of having to be moved through holes. So here we have the bottom plate. I need to weld this on to make it like a C channel or U channel. So I'm gonna run a bead in here and then on the inside. So I got this clamped and ready, but we're gonna be using 3/16, and we follow down. Right now I have the 030 wire, so I think I gotta go to 035, which I did buy, yeah, and run it at 350 20.8, somewhere around there. So I gotta change out the wire, and so I did buy another spool, so I gotta change that out. Okay, I gotta change out the roller. I have to get the 0.035. Why I gotta put that in there? Because we're gonna switch from the 030 to the 035 wire. Alright, we got the right wheel in. I think got the right groove in the right spot. Gotta put the wire in. Alright, so I had to kind of take all this apart here. Where are we? To get this fed through, right? So now we're gonna screw this back in to here, screw this back into here, and then tighten those up. Alright, I think we now have 035 wire in. Oh, 35. We're doing 3/16. 20.8, 354. Yeah, 354, but we need 20.8. Alright, that's where it said we should start. So what do we think of that? Top one, second one, I don't know. Can't hurt to go up a little bit. Alright, let's try 401 and 22.4. What do we think of that one? Okay, let's try 449 at 22.5. Let's have a look, see. What does that look like? It looks like a lot of material. Let's look at the back side. You know, none of those have burned through. Alright, can't really tell the difference to my unaided amateur eye, so I'm going with 420 at 22.5 for 3/16. Alright, let's see what they look like. These are just some pretty ugly welds. Huh. I've got this fixtured up here. We're going to try to do a 45-degree angle in there. See what happens. Let's have a look and see what we think. Well, I don't know. Those look better than the other side. I don't know if they're good. They look better. And what we were at, I think we went down to 21.7 instead of 22.5. Let's have a look, see how perpendicular. All right, so I'm thinking that that's still pretty perpendicular, which is what I was hoping for. All right. And those welds, yeah. Okay, so the plan is to weld that inside, see if we can do it. So what do we think? Well, I've done worse, I think. Okay, we're fixtured all up here. The intent is to run a bead right down there, stitch it probably. Same settings, they seem to work good on the inside. What are we thinking of those kinds of things? I don't know. I've done worse. Let's check perpendicularity. Pretty close. That was good. Let's see the holes still line up. That was the other issue. And the holes still align, which was one of my concerns. Okay. Cool off. We'll clean that up and we'll attach it to the scissors jack and see if it works. So this is 3/16. This is something less than 3/16, maybe. It doesn't even seem like it's an eighth, maybe an eighth. That was on here, so that might be hefty enough. All right, so I made a 3/16 bracket, which is thicker than this bracket, and I still have to figure out the right height for this, but a bolt will go through here and attach. I gotta weld it to here. That's my thought. So we're looking to make a bracket this section. There's another one bottom here. We're gonna give some welding first. So this is gonna be a bracket. There's another angle that goes here. We're gonna give some welding, see what happens. This isn't 3/16. This is an eighth that we're using, so I have to try some practice welding. 275 at 18.9. Let's have a look and see. It's these two. What do you think? I can't tell the difference. Let's have a look and see. What do we think of some of these? Alright, well, let's have a look-see. That one's pretty good. Perpendicularity. That one's pretty good. Let's try this way. Gotta get the camera for an angle here. Alright. So that was all good, and these holes lined up too. I put the drill bit through. Okay, so we cut this bottom bracket, it pieces off the sides. We cut that, so that fits in there, and then this is going to get welded on the top, and that'll be the bottom piece. And then I gotta measure the pieces that come off the top. So that's gonna be that end, and that end I have to configure the right length for that, and then we can give it a try. Whew! All right, getting late. Time to get ready for bed. All right, this piece needs to get welded to this piece. I've clamped it onto here, and it's bolted into here, because I think it's gonna want to try to, this bottom part's gonna want to be warping and stuff, and probably the easiest way to keep it all square and everything with the holes lined up is just leave it there, and I got a weld on both sides right along here. of some of that welding. I've done worse. Well, this isn't good. Look at all the play. It's like 2-3 inches of play. That'd not be good for what we want. So less play when it's more fully extended, which is not where we were going to operate it.